So on our podcast, I was talking to my friend Kim and we were talking about Filipino spaghetti. And I was talking about my childhood memory and understanding of Filipino spaghetti. I was asking her like, you know that thing when you make the Filipino spaghetti in a wok and the sausages get all crispy and like maybe sometimes like the noodles will get a little bit charred and crunchy too. And then Kim proceeded to tell me that is not at all a thing. And I realized that maybe this childhood memory that I had was just unique to my house, because I enjoyed Filipino spaghetti probably maybe once a week, only to find out when I'm near my like almost 40 years old, I might be the only person or one of few people who have enjoyed it this way. So without asking anybody, I'm going to try to recreate that. So here we go, my childhood Filipino spaghetti. Just totally skirting through the fact that I do have a podcast. I've had one for like months now, and you can click here to listen to it if you want. It's very gay. So to make Filipino spaghetti, you need 3 really important things. You need processed hot dogs. Not exactly this brand, but I do like Hebrew National quite a lot. They call it banana sauce here because I think ketchup is like a registered thing or a thing that you have to like make out of tomatoes to be called ketchup, but essentially this is banana ketchup. And of course, you need Filipino style spaghetti sauce. If you can't find any of these things locally, you might try online or your local Asian grocery store, or of course you can try subbing it for the regular tomato sauces that you have available to you, as well as the ketchup that you have available to you. Let's just, for the sake of it, see what these taste like on their own. So banana ketchup came from the fact that I think during American occupation of the Philippines, ketchup was popular, but unfortunately not easy to get a hold of. I'm not sure how true or correct my facts are, but I do believe like a Filipino food chemist or a chemist managed to make the same thing using bananas. So let's just, basically if you didn't tell me that this was made out of bananas, I don't think I would have been able to point it out. Doesn't taste exactly like ketchup. It's a little bit less vinegary. It's a little bit more mild. It's sweet, and it has just a touch of savoriness to it. It's very nice. Now let's try this Filipino style sweet spaghetti sauce and see how this compares to regular tomato sauce. This actually seems more like ketchup than the banana ketchup. Oh, that tastes just like Filipino spaghetti sauce. It is very sweet, a surprising hit of black pepper, but not spicy at all. It almost tastes a little bit like a more peppery version of the SpaghettiOs sauce. So the first thing we're gonna do is prep our ingredients. This is a pretty fast preparation, whereas traditional Filipino spaghetti, you make the sauce, you boil the spaghetti, and then you put the spaghetti into the sauce. This is made with my understanding that it's almost like a chow mein, where you stir fry all the meat components and the onions and the vegetables first, and then you make kind of like less sauce, and then you mix the noodles in at the very end, but all in a wok. I think we only need 4 for this one. And we're gonna cut them on a bias. More surface area on the hot dog means more area that's able to cook and perhaps get a little bit charred as we stir fry that in the wok. Onion. Now for the mincing of the garlic. To my ground pork, I'm going to add some ground coriander, some salt, as well as some black pepper and white pepper. So normally the order for a sauce would go onions and garlic and tomato sauce and ketchup, your seasonings, and then the meat. Because we're doing it in a wok, we're gonna cook the meats first on their own and then remove them and then cook all the other sauce components before adding them back in, just like we would with a stir fry. Just a tiny little bit of oil and then our seasoned pork. Adding a little bit of more oil here. So I'm going to go ahead and just overcook these and get a nice sear on everything, because I always thought that that was the best part. Using the oil that we had to cook the ground pork and the sausages, we will now use this to cook the garlic and the onions. Once you can really smell the garlic, which is like almost immediately, you add in the onions. You're cooking everything till it's not caramelized, but translucent and softened. Pretty much just sweating them out. It's starting to brown. And here we can add, at this point, some salt, some black pepper. Not at all traditional, but some white pepper, because I always love white pepper and stuff. And maybe just to boost the umami-ness and saltiness, just a touch. Again, not any part of a Filipino spaghetti at all, but just a little bit of soy sauce. Add back in the pork, incorporate, and then letting that cook down while we focus on the spaghetti next. Salt your pasta water. So this packaging says 11 minutes. We'll do it for 9. Give it a stir so they don't stick. So it's 1 cup of tomato sauce with half a cup of banana ketchup. But I'm doing it this way because we don't necessarily need that much for a wok method. This would be the amount for if you were doing it in a pot or a Dutch oven. So we're just gonna do this, mix it together, and that way we can add as needed. Because again, I'm still just figuring this out as we go. I don't know what I'm doing. Have you ever thought to yourself that maybe you would like to write a book but just don't have the time? Hi, I'm John Kung, and no, I am not tired, that is just my face. Here to share with you the latest in time-saving innovation. Don't write a book, buy mine instead. My book, Kung Food by John Kung, features the latest in book technology, including pages, words, and introducing JPEGs on paper. Kung Food by John Kung is not yet available in stores, but if you pre-order now, you can get your copy the same time as everyone else, except I will like you more specifically. Click the link in the description and pre-order your copy today. And now we return to whatever terrible video you might have been watching before. We got 5 minutes left on the spaghetti. So as this is going, this has reduced, and now we're gonna add this. Turning down the heat because I can smell it. As well as some pasta water. Oh, maybe we will end up using it all. So we got 4 minutes till the pasta's ready. We're gonna let the sauce just kind of bubble in itself for a bit on low. And I'll just drain it like this and put it directly in, because that will still be putting like some pasta water directly in there too. Oh my God, this smells excellent. Add back in the sausages. I can't believe I did this. Oh no, this is so good. There it is. Stir-fried Filipino spaghetti with sausages, ground pork, banana ketchup, Filipino tomato sauce, and just some extra spices just to make it a little more adult. Gotta eat this with a fork, right? Oh no. That is exactly the texture that I remember it as a kid. So it's not saucy, it's very like American Italian kids meal, processed sweet and salty, but it feels like a stir-fried noodle. So it feels kind of Chinese. And this is exactly what it was like, how it felt when I was little. I'm very happy with this.